Hi, Alden. Thank you for coming to be part of the documentary.
Of course.
So, you know Timmy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any fond memories of Timmy?
No, he sucked. Gotta be honest here. He's always mean to me. Never gave me the time of day. Just ignored me. One time he actually slapped me.
See, that's interesting, because we've had reports by some other people that Timmy was quite rude. He opened lockers, he killed a frog, inspired a song, honestly. It's called Frog Rap. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I actually helped make them.
Frog Rap's a good one. Well, I'm sorry about what Timmy did to you, but to be frank, the Timmy War was so much more than just the character of Timmy that you got to meet, you know? And it might shock you, but the entire thing was staged.
I doubt it.
No, it was.
Seriously.
100%. No, it definitely was staged. I know, because I was staging it with another fellow member.
You're being ridiculous.
Timmy was never a real person, you know.
What?
Timmy's not real.
No.
I'm sorry, he's just some paper. You just decided to make him more than that. Mm-hmm.
No, I specifically remember him slapping me in the face. I can feel it. I had a bruise for weeks.
It's not possible for paper to slap you that hard.
Well, it did.
It didn't.
But it did.
But it
How do you know? You weren't there, were you?
Well, I definitely was. I was with Timmy at all times.
Huh?
I was with Timmy.
Well, he could have snuck out at night. You don't know. That's when he slapped me. At night in my room, he climbed through my window, he stole my phone, and slapped me in the face. And was like, you know what? You suck. And I was like, dude.
To be quite frank, I don't think that's true.
Horrible.
You're just making stuff up. Are you a liar?
No.
Are you sure?
Are you?
I'm not.
I don't know.
This whole entire thing is all true. It's in a documentary. You're on a hidden camera show. Yes, it was true. The infamous, beloved war was no more. But not the way everyone expected it to end. There was a lot of people quite questioning the fact, what happened to Team Anti-Timmy? What happened to Timmy? No one knew what happened until it really got spread out into the school. But it still took some people some time to figure it out. It might shock you, but the entire war was actually staged and fake, and none of it was real. And it was all a plot to confuse our entire class.
That's incredible. I completely unexpected. Never did that.
No one saw it coming, so.
I know. Yeah, wow.
Well, it might shock you to learn, but the entire war was actually staged, and everyone, including the founders of Timmy, were not part of it. Only the leader of Anti-Timmy and me, leader of Timmy, were in on it.
Wasn't the leader of Anti-Timmy?
Yes, we conspired every day about how the war was fake and our evil plan to corrupt the school.
It wasn't that corrupt. I didn't care that much.
I think he was very corrupt. That might make you feel better, that the entire war was staged and none of it was real. And it was all fake. So, yeah. Now, some people claimed to know that the war was staged from the start.
I mean, I knew it was staged all along. It was really obvious. I don't know why everyone else thought it wasn't. They're stupid.
Indeed, the entire war was a conspiracy. We planned it all here, in this very parking lot. So, as you recall, our entire war was staged.
Yes.
And we spent many a day in this very parking lot talking about what we would do for the next day and conspiracizing. How did it reflect on your Team Timmy side that we didn't get to see, or your anti-Timmy side that we didn't get to see in the Timmy side about it being staged and how to keep that a secret?
Well, you see, everybody thought it was real, so I got all the kids that, like, you think would have anger issues because I knew they'd be the best choices because I knew you'd never suspect them and that they would actually take it seriously. And I did want Timmy to die, yes. That was not staged. I do want Timmy to die.
Do you remember planning Hollow Warfare, the official fight for Timmy, and having the whole thing be a fraud so that we could really have Timmy fly and include his death in that flight, but so that he could just be free? Our original plan?
Yes. I do remember wanting to, like, rig the balloon so that it would light on fire.
Then that would give him the burn and the flight, which is something that have always been wanted.
Yes.
Speaking of Hollow Warfare,
Ooh, I do remember Hall of Warfare. I remember it being very bloody and gruesome, and I remember hearing the screams through the classroom door. But I don't really remember very many details about that.
yeah, I don't know what's happening in the 6th grade hallway because it actually never happened and the whole thing was fake. So, yeah, we never did that. So I don't know what was happening down here in your guys' end of the school.
That brings up a very good point, Keaton.
Yeah, but still talking about the war, it brings us back to the Hollow Beast and the fact that it was actually never planned from either side. It might surprise you to find, but since we did not know who made the Hollow Beast, when it did show up, it was quite a shock to all of us. But I talked to the other leader as the entire war was staged and fake, and me and the other leader, Chance, we kind of formed the entire thing just to be something as a war for everybody. But I did talk to him, and nobody on Team Anti-Timmy actually made that and put that in your locker. We don't know where that came from. Someone just put it in your locker and said this is what is coming. So, yeah. Now let's retreat back to our out-of-school correspondent and her opinions on the staging and fakeness of the war. Staged? That's a shocker to some people. Not us,
As
though.
I already said, I knew actually all things that happened before most people in the school did, obviously besides the leaders. So I knew that the war was fake. You had told me that the war was fake right when you actually told me about the war. And so as a out of school person, I didn't really help with the fake war, but it was pretty interesting. Actually, it wasn't, never mind.
Touche, Abby. Touche. Well, actually, speaking of the leaders, they did not know about it being staged. Might shock you to learn, though, the entire war was staged, and it was all fake. All conspiracy every day, every member. It was all basically a game to me and the leader of Anti-Timmy.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
I'm sorry, Max. I'm sorry.
Hey, come
I'm sorry.
on, man.
But I'd like to say thank you for you guys. You were there while we were doing it, and you were very featured people on the side of Timmy. So thank you.
Faking the war. Wow.
Now let's head back to the person who helped stage the entire thing, and our plans for what was coming next for our school. As you recall, after Hollow Warfare, our stories wouldn't have just ended like that. We had the whole bounty hunting kind of era that we were going to plan. We got our tickets from YouTube. Do you remember how that system would work?
Yes, 10 tickets for 1 Spartan buck, and you get bounties where you go and stab people on the other team.
Well, but we were trying to make it more of a free-for-all. So the technical sense, we would take blunt ends of a pencil and just jab it into someone.
Sharp ends as hard as you can.
And we would stab it into them to get their bounty, and then we could cash in their bounty for
Then
tickets.
we'd cut off their head and put it on a stick and sell it.
Yeah, bounties were fun. So you've seen how it went down. You know what happened, and you've seen the backstory of Timmy. You've seen how Timmy started many different teams, and how all of it was not true. But through Timmy and the war, we were able to express a true childhood feeling that brought middle school to life, giving everyone the opportunity to join in on one thing. And that one thing was Timmy. Now, next week will be the last episode of the Timmy and the First Fold and the final week of our documentary series. Through it, we've discovered so much, and I think Timmy was able to give us something that we didn't get through COVID. A true middle school experience for everyone to be on the same side and experience the same thing together as a class. I can't wait to fold up this great series and great episode, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.